It's 2:13 a.m., and I just deleted the last voicemail I ever saved from you. My thumb hovered over the screen longer than I expected, like if I waited a few more seconds, something inside me might change its mind. I don't even know why I kept it this long. It wasn't romantic, you weren't confessing love or promising forever. You were just telling me you were running late, that traffic was bad, that you'd pick up Thai food on your way over. You asked if I wanted the usual. Your voice sounded distracted, like you were checking emails while talking. And still, I saved it. I think I kept it because it was proof that at some point I was someone you were coming home to. I've been thinking a lot about what it means to be chosen, or more honestly, what it feels like when you aren't. There's a specific kind of silence that happens when you're sitting across from someone you love and you realize they've already left you in their mind. They're still physically there, still nodding, still responding, but something behind their eyes has softened into distance, almost guilt. And you feel it in your body before they ever say it. I remember that evening so clearly it almost scares me. October, the kind of golden light that makes everything look warmer than it is. I had just cleaned the kitchen. I even lit the small candle you liked, the one that smelled like cedar and smoke. I made coffee even though it was close to 6 p.m. because you always teased me about drinking caffeine so late and still sleeping fine. I wanted that laugh. I wanted normal. But you were quiet. Not the comfortable silence we used to share. This was different. Heavy. Like the air right before a storm when everything goes still. And then you said it. I don't think I can give you what you need. You said it gently. That was the worst part. You weren't angry. You weren't cold. You looked tired, almost sad for me. I nodded like I was processing it in a healthy, mature way. I even said something like, I understand. I don't understand why we do that, why we protect the person who's breaking us. My hands were wrapped around my coffee mug so tightly my knuckles turned white. I remember noticing that, like my body was bracing for something my heart hadn't caught up to yet. You kissed my forehead before you left. My forehead, not my lips. And somehow that tiny difference felt louder than anything else. The door closed softly behind you. No slam, no drama, just a quiet click. I stood there for a full minute staring at it, half expecting you to walk back in and say, I made a mistake. You didn't. That night, I didn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling. The street light outside my apartment cast long shadows that stretched across the walls. I counted the cracks in the paint. I picked up my phone more times than I can admit. Typed messages, deleted them, typed again. Can we talk? Did I do something wrong? Is there someone else? I never sent any of them. The question that wouldn't leave me alone was simple. Why wasn't I enough? Not what happened, not what changed, just why wasn't I enough? Because when someone walks away from you calmly, respectfully, kindly, it's harder to blame them. And if you can't blame them, you start blaming yourself. I replayed everything. The way you'd say someday whenever I talked about moving in together. The way you changed the subject when I mentioned long-term plans. The way you hesitated just slightly when people called me your girlfriend. I saw it all in hindsight. But love has this way of blurring warning signs into maybe it's just stress. And then there was her, the woman you're with now. I told myself I wouldn't look, and then one night at 1:47 a.m., I did. She's beautiful, effortlessly. Soft smile, kind eyes, the kind of woman who looks like she wakes up glowing. I zoomed into photos like I was searching for a flaw that would make this make sense. Was she calmer than me? Less emotional? More chill? Did she ask for less? I compared everything. The way she dressed, the way she posed, the way you looked at her in photos, relaxed in a way I used to pray for. And then I hated myself for comparing at all, because deep down I knew something I didn't want to admit. It wasn't about her being better, it was about you being ready. The hardest part wasn't the first week. Shock carried me through that. I went to work, I answered emails, I smiled at coworkers. I even went to brunch and laughed at jokes that weren't funny. The real grief showed up later, 3 weeks in, alone in the grocery store when our song came on, sitting in my car after work because going inside meant facing the quiet, finding your hoodie in the back of my closet and pressing it to my face like scent could bring clarity. I cried in small, embarrassing ways, in traffic, in the shower, in the middle of folding laundry. And somewhere in all of that crying, a different question began to surface. Why do I need someone else choosing me to feel valuable? That one was harder, because it wasn't about you anymore, it was about me. I realized I had built tiny parts of my identity around being wanted, being chosen, being the safe place someone came back to. When that disappeared, I felt invisible, so I tried to fill it. Dating apps, deleted. Working late, exhausting. Wine on a Tuesday, regret. Nothing touched the ache. Until one Saturday morning after it rained, I went to the farmer's market alone. I almost didn't go, but something in me was tired of sitting still. That's when I bought the plant. A small snake plant, nothing dramatic. The woman selling it said, "It's hard to kill." I laughed and said, "Good, because I don't trust myself with fragile things right now." I put it on my nightstand, and I kept it alive. That sounds so small, but it felt steady. Every morning I'd open the blinds for it, water it when the soil was dry, wipe the dust off its leaves. And slowly, caring for something that depended on me reminded me I wasn't empty. I started journaling, messy pages, half sentences, questions I didn't have answers to. What do I actually need in love? Why did I ignore my own discomfort? Why was I afraid to ask for more? Therapy came next. I was nervous. I thought she'd tell me how to win you back in my head. Instead, she asked, what would it look like to choose yourself the way you wanted him to choose you? I didn't know how to answer that, so I started small. Morning walks without my phone, cooking real meals, calling my mom and actually listening, going to bed earlier, running, not to change my body, but to feel strong inside it. Little by little, I stopped feeling abandoned. Months later, I saw you at a coffee shop. You were with her. You looked happy, and I waited for the pain to punch me in the chest. It didn't. There was a flicker, a memory, a softness, but no collapse. And that's when it hit me. You didn't reject me because I was lacking. You rejected me because we weren't aligned. You couldn't meet the depth I needed, and that doesn't make me too much. It just means I require more. Tonight, when I deleted that voicemail, I didn't feel dramatic. I didn't cry. I just felt done, holding on to evidence. I don't need proof that I was once almost loved. I want the kind of love that doesn't hesitate, the kind that says yes without fear, the kind that doesn't make me shrink. The apartment is quiet right now, but it's a peaceful quiet. There's a candle burning on the coffee table. My plant, which I named Fern even though she's not a fern, has 3 new leaves. I didn't notice when they started growing. Healing is like that. It happens while you're busy living. I don't know if you ever think about me, but I don't need you to. I'm not waiting anymore. Not for a text, not for closure, not for someone to finally decide I'm enough. Because I am. And for the first time in a long time, I feel chosen. By me. If this story touched something quiet inside you, something you don't always say out loud, I hope you know you're not alone. We've all sat in that kind of silence. If you'd like more stories like this, soft spaces where healing feels possible, subscribe to My Healing Tales. And if this resonated, leave a like or share your story in the comments. Someone else might need to read it tonight. You deserve to be chosen fully. Always.